Yo, 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 what's good, everybody, man? Welcome back to the booth. Welcome back to the channel. Got another video for y'all today, man. How it feels to kill someone by Lab Bible. Uh, I'm sure circumstances are different, but it's just interesting to hear what these people have to say. So let's hop right into that, man. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're coming back, peep the acrylic glass, man. I finally got the LEDs up, got the glass up, just waiting on the logo and the pattern to come through, and then we'll be fully done with the boot. Appreciate everyone who subscribed. We're up to 33. Let's get into it.
When I blow your f***ing head off, or when I about that.
Yes, Jay Kirby. Your punch man knocked him out one punch.
Is this man dead? He can't be dead.
I've just killed someone.
Sniper, one punch killer.
What kind of...
I swear, I remember that news story. Dude punched him or something, and he fell back. And when he did, he hit his head on the concrete and
Who
died.
were you when you were growing up?
Active, energetic, confident.
I love his accent.
I don't know, I felt like a bit of a protector around my friends that I felt were vulnerable, you know? And stuff like that. A bit of a defender, if you could say that, you know?
What would you say was a turning point in your life?
Well, it has to be in 2003, isn't it? When I was 19.
Isn't it? Yeah, he's from like England or something.
My
Killed
best
someone.
friend at the time called me. He told me that him and his girlfriend, who was at the time, been going for a bit of a rough patch, not talking to each other maybe for like a week or two, you know, on and off sort of thing. But during that period of time when they were going through their rough patch, his girlfriend got raped by somebody.
Oof, that's tough. That's tough, man. That's something that if you watch any of my previous videos, anytime something like that ever comes up, I've said it before, just straight up, just get rid of the problem.
Before he first told me what happened, I said to him, why didn't the girl go to the police? And he said she's scared to go to the police. And she just wanted him to do something to just stop this man from, you know, troubling her again. The plan was he was going to pull up at the bus stop, what he did, and meet her, who was in a phone box waiting for him, with 2 baseball bats. And when he did arrive, came out the phone box, we approached him as he was talking to the girl. He saw us coming, he grabbed the girl and held her. Why are you going to grab her like that and hold her like a shield? You've done something, killed us. My reaction was to hit him with the bat to get him off the girl. My boy done the same thing, hit him a few times, he let go of the girl. Then obviously he was trying to disarm me, take my bat off of me. I'm tussling him with the man, going back and forth, he's trying to get the bat off of me, I'm hitting him some more. It was more just a human reaction thing, innit? You, rapist monster man, is not taking this baseball bat off of me. So I have to keep swinging it.
Fuck you.
And hitting you, so you can't take it off of me. Maybe turn it back on me, then that's what's going to happen. And I just kept swinging it until he stopped trying to grab it. He dropped on the floor on one knee, and then I just ran across the road, shouted to my boy, let's go. We ran off, and that was it basically. From where I lived at the time, we could see the police put up a tent around his body and the road taped off and stuff, and they were just there for hours. And that's why I started to think this has probably gone way too far, because why is there a tent around him? Is this man dead? He can't be dead. I only hit him a few times with a baseball bat in the head and around the shoulder, neck, wherever else. It's about, I don't know, 5 or 6 days.
You did the right thing, dog. You got my respect, homie.
Later, Crime Stoppers put posters up around the streets where it happened, saying that the man had died. Is there any information on this man? To this day, you know, it's a strange feeling. Sometimes you don't really know what that feeling is, but it's there. It's hard to explain. Feel bad about yourself, and then you question yourself. Like, am I a bad person? Am I a good person? You know, am I wrong? Am I right?
That must be tough. That must be tough. Like I've made a dumb decision and taking $100 up to the boat, gambling it, when I knew I only had $300-400 left. You know what I'm saying? And when it's nighttime, and you're by yourself, just you in your mind, you start questioning yourself. Am I dumb for that? Did I do that right? Just all sorts of stuff come up to your head. So I bet he really does. When things get quiet, when you're eating at the restaurant, you blank out all the other noise. Just stuff like that. You start thinking about that moment at random times throughout the day.
I know I'm a religious person as well, so I think it's in the hands of God, innit?
I was out with my friends on a night out. It was one of my friend's 18th birthdays. And we were just out all day drinking. As the clubs closed on that night, I got some calls from my friends who I got separated with, who were in another bar causing trouble, and they would ring me up and say, "Oh, Jacob is kicking off, you need to come and back us up." So me being the 18, 19 year old I was back then, I only cared about my friends, and so I went running down to the scene, and I sadly took it upon myself to get involved, and threw a punch at the guy that my mate was arguing with, and he fell on the floor. My friends came round the next day, knocked on the door. I answered out of the window, and their response was, "Yes, Jacob, your punch man knocked him out one punch," like trying to praise me for what I did. And I guess at the time I felt a little bit of pride getting that acknowledgement from my friends. And then a couple more weeks passed, and I ended up, my mum had saved up some money to actually take us on holiday. We went to Tenerife. Then a couple of days later, after we'd come back from that holiday, the police started raiding me and all my friend's house. And this was a month after that punch. And then that's when it started to become a reality that someone had actually passed away because of my actions.
The legendary A-10 Warthog arrives in the War Thunder.
It didn't even let me skip the fucking ad. What a bitch.
How did it make you feel?
I thought the dude threw the punch and he died that night, and he got I didn't know a whole month went by. Like, did you not see in the article in the news or something? Hey, man in hospital from punch earlier this month. Like, I know in my town somebody gets knocked out unconscious in a coma. You know what I'm saying? Cause like, how's a month go by before he didn't die that night? You know what I mean?
A mixture of every unpleasant emotion combined. Shock.
He threw up. He heard a dude died and spilled his guts.
Disbelief. Self-pity. And I guess at that time I also felt unfortunate. I felt like I was, why is this?
Hell yeah, it's unfortunate, bro. You threw one punch. You know what I'm saying? I've seen people get beat the fuck up. Come to school the next day, swole. Tell they got jumped. It's crazy. Unfortunate as fuck that happened to you.
The best way to describe it is hysterical. She just kept crying about the pain that the other person's mum would be feeling. And I found that really difficult even try and think about.
The court hearing was hard, you know, for me, because all I'm thinking is, I just want this jury to hear from the girl. She was excluded from our trial. She got a plea bargain.
That's not fair.
She's all the reason why her and this guy, why this all started. Obviously, we're not going to hear from the guy. We need to hear from her. They didn't get to hear from her, so it was difficult for me, you know? Sitting in there as a young black man, I thought, oh.
I wonder how much time he did, if he even did any time.
My God, I'm already on the back foot. Yeah, I just have to just sit there and just take it.
I'm obviously a Caucasian guy. Now, granted, I'm foreign. I'm not raised. I moved to the United States when I was 6 years old. My background, my culture is different. I cannot say that I'm a white person because, you know, like, I grew up different. I grew up in just a different culture. The upbringing is totally different. The rules, the mindset of the parents, just totally different. You know, I go to school, you know, and you know, like, I have to share bath water that my brother and sister used before me. Like, we didn't have money growing up like that. The water was heat on the stove. It's the culture is just totally different, and I can only imagine just instantly feeling at a disadvantage because of the color of your skin. Like, this young man's at a trial, and before the trial even started, he said he felt like he was on his back foot because he's a young black man. That's so sad. So sad we live in that world. So sad that, you know, that's the reality of every young black man and woman in this world. They instantly feel like their back's against the wall off the rip. Sad.
Well, then sometimes when your barrister isn't saying what you want him to say and fighting for you how you want him to fight, then, you know, you can't really jump up in the court and start saying, no, you didn't say that right, you're supposed to say this and say that, because obviously you compromises your character. You're going to have a whole jury looking at you like you're some savage. You're not trying to be a savage, are you? You're just trying to be a normal person.
It's crazy.
The court hearing was, it was packed. I don't know who was in there. It was like random people from off the street who had managed to get in there, who had just been nosy. There was some of my family in there, people who I didn't know, journalists. And then obviously, I was told...
That looks so good in the video.
You know, the family of the person who passed away was also in the room. So I think what I did is I put my head down, looked at the floor for the entire process, because I pled guilty early, so there was like no trial or anything. I didn't try what they would say, bust case, or, you know, try and get away with it. And yes, and then all of a sudden I was looking down at the floor, and the prison guard next to me pulled me down, and I didn't even know how long I'd gone. I didn't even know that it was all over. I was going to prison.
Were you scared?
Yeah, I was scared.
What a tough moment.
It just felt awful, to be honest.
You could tell reliving it. He looks like he's on a drug.
12 years.
Like, he looks like he's on a Xanax just to calm and numb his feelings. That's what he looks like.
But I did 8 months on remand. The judge ended up sentencing me to 11 years and 127 days.
Whoa.
It's only 19 at the time. We'll get out when I'm 30 something.
I was sentenced to, I think it was 13 months. In the end, it was 2.5 years. An early guilty plea gets you a third off your sentence. I hadn't had any previous criminal convictions. The probation officer kind of wrote to the judge in the pre-sentence report just saying that she felt the longer that I was probably in prison, the more unhelpful it may have been.
Tell me about your childhood.
My dad was a builder. My mum.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Because you become the people you hang out with, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's that saying? If you hang out with millionaires, if you hang out with 4 millionaires, you're gonna be the 5th. You know? So if you hang out with murderers and rapists and all this all day long for years, how are you supposed to exit back into society normal when wasn't nothing wrong with you in the first place? It was a freak accident. Like, this dude punched him one time, dude fell to the ground, and when he fell to the ground, he hit his way in the head that killed him. You know, that's unfortunate, but you don't stick someone in prison for 6 years for that. Well, don't get me started, but we got fucking pedophiles out here walking around free. People doing 20 plus years for a couple grams of cocaine, some marijuana. What? This dude did 2.5 years for punching somebody in the... Well, I'm not excusing it, but you see what I'm saying? Like, give him the probation that pedophile's on. And put the pedophile in there for life. What are we doing? Don't get me started. My bad. I didn't mean to rant. This video is long enough as it is.
I was a baby, so I was spoiled. And I went to good schools, I went to grammar. My family was all straight goers.
My family was all straight goers, you know. This dude looks like a boss. Like, this dude looks like he'd pull up in an all-black 1950s Mercedes. Old school.
I was the one who corrupted them all. I was walking through a park, a couple of my old school friends, one of them let off a starting pistol, so I did 2 coppers come in. And they started getting every with them, and I went, oh, you can't do that. I said, you've got to have a responsible adult problem, there. He went, what, are you a lawyer? I said, no, but I know my rights. And he went, okay, walked out, they come back, threw a razor on the floor, cutthroat, and he went, we're nicking you, that come out your pocket. I went, what are you talking about? So they nicked me, took me stuff, knowing them. He said, they said if you plead guilty, it'll be a £10 fine. If you don't plead guilty and you go up the steps, he said, you're going to get books for that. So I done guilty. When I've gone back to work, of course they've read it in the newspaper, I lost my job. And with a criminal record, it was very hard to get another job. So what opened up to me, I thought, if you're going to make me a bad guy, I'll show you how bad I can be. People said, called me a gangster, I didn't like it. One guy called me a gangster, so I stuck a gun in his mouth and educated him that I weren't a gangster. And I said, look, I'm a businessman, and my business is crime. At one stage, I'm sitting in the pub, all my pals having a drink because they were drunk, and Tony Green come in to me. He said, you know the fish and chip shop where your mum and dad goes? I went there. He said, well, they're in bits. He said, like, a couple of Turkish guys got their daughter on heroin and trying to get her out on the gun. And I went, there what? He said, yeah. And I know this family, they're hard working people, in that fish and chip shop from dinner time, working through the night time, covered in grease, and they're nice people. He said, and they know about you, they've heard about you, and they want to talk to you, make it go away. I said, okay. So I go up and see him, and he had this biscuit tin, bless him. He opened up the biscuit tin, he had rolls of notes in it. He said, Bobby, he said, you're crying, his wife's crying, and I felt bad, And he said, these people, terrible people, told me what they... He said, well, we don't want a problem, we work people. He said, I said, don't worry, I'll make it go away. So he gave me the biscuit tin, and it was their savings. I don't take money off of them, I'm going to nick it off of people who really got it. So I said, no. I said, what you do, if we come in here, we get fish and chips for him.
He said, I want free fish and chips for life. I don't need your money. He said, I'm going to nick it, which is English term for steal it off the people who took it from you.
If my mum and dad
this dude's really out here banging.
Okay, I said, that's the price. So I'll come out, and Frank was sitting in the motor, he was my driver, old Frank.
He has a driver. He's a
tomorrow.
G.
I said, at 7 o'clock in the morning, I said, bring the car round. I'm not messing about with these people. They're dangerous. I'm going to shoot them. So I got out of the motor, got the sawn off, once under the car, I walked in and I shot him through the leg. And I went, I'll blow your fucking head off. I went, how about that? I said, if you ain't off the manor in 24 hours, I'm going to blow your brains out.
What does it feel like?
Well, I weren't shooting in my...
The question was, what does it feel like to shoot someone?
I said, at 7 o'clock in the morning, I said, bring the car round. I'm not messing about with these people. They're dangerous. I'm going to shoot them. So I got out of the motor, got the sawn off, once under the car, I walked in and I shot him through the leg. And I went, I'll blow your fucking head off. I went, how about that? I said, if you ain't off the manor in 24 hours, I'm going to blow your brains out.
What does it feel like?
Well, I weren't shooting in my head, like, because they used to say, how they do it, so you don't feel bad about it. They'd say, we've got a rat. So dehumanise them, they're not a person anymore, they're a rat. So what I'm shooting is vermin. So I had no problem with it. You've got to dehumanise them so that they're just an object to be targeted, and you target them and you do it. To me, everything was business. It didn't matter whether I liked you or...
The amount of rings this man has on each finger, he has 2 and 3, or 2 and 2. You just tell this dude's a whole ass mobster.
Didn't like you. If someone said to me, there's X amount of pounds written on shot in the leg, I'm going to look at it and think, right, if I shoot him, I get caught, I'm going to do this much jail. If I'm clever and I don't get caught, that's my money if I shoot it. So it's not as glamorous as people think. It's like anything, whether you're shooting them, cutting them. Once you've done one, half a dozen ain't too many. You become hardened. And that's why it's very hard for you to show love and emotion, that sort of thing, because you've got to bring the shutters down. Because if you don't, you go insane. Or you put one in your own mouth, you know?
Can you remember the first
Whoa.
mission you were sent on?
Yeah, I can. It was in Iraq. We're in the Maysan Desert. And the Maysan Desert is a vast, vast place, and it's desolate. We were getting scouted by a motorbike. And every time we saw this motorbike, loads of mortars were coming. The artillery and the mortars were getting
You can send me
pretty damn
some.
close. And then I got the green light to take the target out. I shot, missed my first shot, second
It's the
shot I got him.
nerves.
And then I had to go up to the body to see if I'd if he was, you know, dead. And I remember walking up to the body. The motorbike, the throttle was stuck in the sand, and the bike was revving, and an AK strapped to it. And the guy was on the floor, and he passed away. I'd shot him here. Yeah, weird feeling. Weird feeling. You feel like you're in trouble. You feel, I've just killed someone. But people are thanking you, going, oh yeah, good shot, tapping your shoulders, good shot, good, you know, good mission there, Craig, well done. But you just killed someone. Strange feeling, strange feeling.
Yeah, there must be a weird feeling.
Snipers work in pairs.
Yes, they do, yeah.
Snipers work in pairs.
You have one and a number two. And number two is usually the best sniper, because he'll work out all your calculations, he'll work out all the wind, everything you need to know for your scope. And basically then he will tell you to put it in, and all you've got to do is pull the trigger. The number one is probably the best shooter. We've got to understand then that sniping is not all about shooting and killing. The first job of a sniper is to gather lifetime information of the battlefield. So I'd look for my scope, I'd see a bloke come out of his compound
A bloke.
with a lady, and I would make up a story, say, oh, there's Limpy John with his wife. And it keeps your mind occupied. He goes, oh, let's see what Beryl's doing. And then you go over to Beryl, oh, let's see what Bob's doing. Oh yeah, there's Bob, doing the same old thing. Quite hard really, because when you do get to take the target out, you're killing Bob. You know, and you've made a name up for him for the last 4 days. You know, but
Like a
that's the
little
sort
pet.
of thing you need to mentally switch off.
That's not for some of the other grenades snap at your head.
One mission,
They asked him if any missions to him stand out as dangerous.
we were in Basra Palace. We got to go to this place called the P-Job, and the P-Job basically is just run by 15 people. That's it, and it's next to a prison. And it used to get smashed.
If y'all are
every
still here
single
and you
night
like the channel, just
from
go ahead and subscribe for me. It
11
helped me
o'clock
out.
at night till 5 in the morning. It is the gates of hell. The gates of hell. And they're trying
Wow.
to release all these insurgents, all these other hierarchy Taliban from this prison. And it was our job to not let them do that. We were on the roof on this occasion, and they came from north, they came from the south, they came from the east, they came from the west, they came from everywhere. And we got absolutely, I'm going to say it, we got absolutely smashed. We thought we were going to get overrun. So I phoned Tanya. I get a bit upset, you know, sorry. I phoned her and she answered. And I said to her, I love you, you know. And she goes, I know. She goes, what's that noise? And I said, that's nothing, there's nothing. Just want to hear a voice, you know. Just want to hear a
Wow.
voice.
He thought he was gonna die. He thought they were gonna get ran over. Not literally ran over, but taken over.
And we went back on the roof and yeah, we were in the fight. Like a wall got shattered. And when that wall of ice got shattered, everything that I've experienced in my tours through Bosnia, Kosovo, Iraq, Afghan, I couldn't stop it. My wife noticed it first. She noticed there was something wrong due to my isolation, my snappiness, to depression really, and suicidal thoughts.
Wow.
I'm not going to lie, I will cry later, because a lot of memories come up, you know, a lot of thoughts. I don't disguise it, you know. I'm a big advocate for PTSD, but I find I'm ashamed to have PTSD. And I'm the first one to admit it. It ruins your sex life. It ruins your friends, because no one wants to be around you because you're just miserable. You don't want to go out because you get so angry so quick. The army noticed it, and I got called into the MO's office, which is the medical officer's office. I'm doing 20 odd years. It took half an hour for me to get kicked out. Yeah, I'll say it. My wife, we went to America, stayed there for a bit, and my wife went back to England to see her mum, and I nearly shot myself. I took all the rounds out of the gun. I was practicing where to do it, where I would do it, and I put the bullet in, cocked it, put it in my mouth. And Betsy was sat on the back of the sofa. She's a little Yorkshire Terrier. She saved my life. I wouldn't be here now. I was sat talking to you guys or on this planet if it wasn't for my wife and my dog. No fucking way. I would have checked out.
That is so deep. That is so deep. This English gentleman, he's not even from the United States. But just thank you so much to the men and women around the world who serve. Special shout out to the men and women of the United States who serve. This is their life after war. And And we don't do enough for them. We damn sure don't do enough for them here in the United States. So if you see somebody who served today, you tell them thank you. You tell them thank you.
Yeah. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard.
Thank you, sir. That's crazy.
Yeah. That was a bad one.
He was sentenced
that's
for
the only thing
manslaughter.
I've got on my conscience that I have to live with. That is the hardest thing I have to live with. Someone chokes on a gag on a bit of work, you know, and they choked on it, Robbie, and it's a bad place for me, you know. Like we've done 100 times. You tie them up, you gag them, yeah? You go, the police come, untie them. But if I could undo that one, just that one, that would be the only thing in my life I would undo. It's a bad place for me, you know. Like we've done 100 times. You tie them up, you gag them, yeah? You go, the police come, untie them. But if I could undo that one, just that one, that would be the only thing in my life I would undo. Because it should never have happened. And even to this day, I have to live with it. I've done an innocent. And you don't do that in my world. You don't do innocence. And no, that one I feel terrible about. But when I go to church, because I'm Catholic, I believe in that sort of thing, I always light a candle for that person. Like I do my mum and dad and my daughter who died, you know. I light candles for them. It's a respect thing, that's how I pray for them, you know.
Do you have any regrets about what you did?
Say no. Say no,
No, I
please.
don't.
Yes!
Because
Yes! Yes! Let's go! Let's go! You did do the right thing.
I believe what I done was right.
Let's go!
I've looked at it in my head time and time and time and time and time again, over and over and over again. Am I wrong? Am I right?
You're
And I feel
right.
like- I don't know. I feel like, yeah, I'm kind of right. There's one less rapist on the earth, and that's got to be a good thing.
Yes!
Do you think it's the right thing to take power in your own hands in this sense, or do you think we should aim at the police to address this?
The police officer got raped and murdered a girl the other day. So how can you go to the police? A police officer was convicted for raping and killing a girl the other day, right? So where are we going with this? The police are doing the same thing. So how can you go to the police?
Facts.
How can girls go to the police? They're going to go to their boyfriends, they're going to go to their friends, they're going to go to their brothers, they're going to go to their dads.
Yeah, come to your
We're going to go
brother.
to somebody, that's what we're going to do something about it straight away. And not be like, we're going to investigate and give you a crime number and get back to you. You're scared to go to the shops now. You can't go out your house. You're scared. How much women out there are being raped and violated and kids are being violated by paedophiles and that. Ask them how they feel about people like that, whether we should take the law into our own hands.
This man for
Sometimes
president.
we shout our own justice. It's a monster. Then, you know, I'm not really haunted by that, man. You know? Did you? Do you do the same thing for your friend, for your mom, for your sister, for your brother?
I want to shake his hand. Hey, look, man. If this channel ever gets big, I swear to God, I'm gonna film a vlog where I fly to England, I do some sightseeing, I find this man, and I shake his hand.
It makes us question our own selves, innit, as humans, innit?
Would you do the same thing again?
If I was put in that situation again, I have to defend it. I'm a defender. If I have to live my life in prison being a defender, then that's what I'm gonna have to do. And I have to die in prison being a defender. Then I'm gonna die.
Let's fucking go.
At least I can live with myself and myself and say I defended something for the right reason.
Let's
Do you feel
fucking
a little
go.
guilt?
Discover La Roche-Posay and Thelios fluid, lightweight.
That dude is a fucking boss. Good thing I had the mute on. They want to randomly give me 2 ads. On the rat's ass. Nobody's about to download this weak ass warship game. Quit.
I did feel a lot of guilt, but I didn't know what to do with it. Because how could I ever know what the impact was? And I kind of think I was scared of knowing what the truth was, and how it actually impacted on the people involved. And, you know, I had a parents that James was the type of person where he want me to make something of my life and amount to something positive. That helped me try to believe in myself a little bit more.
That's cool.
Because I knew I wouldn't be able to achieve anything if I was just stuck in the guilt and shame of what I'd done. And that's when they asked me, you know, what is it that you're going to actually do with your life, Jacob? Because it's okay saying. I didn't even want to say the word sorry. I said, you know, I feel like it would be an insult to say the word sorry. I want to prove to you through my actions that I actually am sorry. And then, you know, that's when I said, okay, what are you going to do? So I said, I'll give GCSEs another shot at 21 years old, and smashed it.
His mom ever tell you that she forgives you?
Yeah. But I didn't ever want to
Accept it.
expect forgiveness. And I understand that forgiveness isn't something that is black and white. Forgiveness means different things to
This
different
man
people.
understands.
What advice would you give to your younger self?
Forget religion, forget colour, forget sex. Boils down to in life, 2 things. Are you a good person or a bad person? That's all it boils down to.
You have a messy old life.
So I had to go through hell, right, to appreciate heaven. And that's what it is. You have to see ugliness to appreciate beauty. You have to witness hatred and venom to appreciate love and kindness.
I actually thought we were going to walk off.
Yo, I thought that video was so fucking dope. I know this video's long, and probably nobody's watching this outro. But, if y'all did, if y'all are here right now, man, I appreciate y'all so much. I'm gonna see you on the next one. I thought this was super cool. It gives a lot of different aspects, and I'm really rocking with dude who killed the rapist. I'm rocking with him big time. He said, no, I do not feel bad about killing that man. One less rapist on earth. Like I said, if ever I get up from this channel from hitting the lottery or some crazy ass shit, I swear to God, I'm gonna vlog me flying to England, doing some sightseeing, and shaking this man's hand. But this video was super cool. I really enjoyed it. If y'all did, make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and deuces. I'm gonna see you on the next one.